Good morning. It's early for me. It's about 8 a.m. I know it's evening or afternoon for a lot of you. And today we are going to do something we haven't done before, which is a vendor-focused recap on probably the biggest cloud show in the world, which is reInvent, and a vendor showcase on the back of that. So I would say that this, yes, I love Sylvie Graphics. This is a test for us. So my name is J.R. Storment. I am the executive director of the FinOps Foundation. This is the first time that we've actually invited non-members to one of our calls. We've been doing this for about 2.5 years now. Started with 26 of us. There's now about 5,000 of us. And some of you may never have joined us before. So we're going to try something new this time. The great thing about the FinOps Foundation, as Stacey was sharing a little bit at the beginning, is we're a nonprofit. So we don't have investors. We don't have targets. We're sort of all here because we want to be here. And this meeting is a great example of a test that we're doing. If it works well, we're going to do it again attached to Google Next. We're going to do it attached to Microsoft Ignite. So how did this come to be? I have 4 minutes. Steve Trask, who you're going to hear from later, is pushing me in this already. But I want to tell a little backstory, which is about a month ago, a portion of our team got together for the first time ever because we started this whole thing really during COVID. We're employees of the Linux Foundation. And we've never gotten together. And we were talking in New York. It was Vasilio Markanastasakis, it was Rob Martin, Stacey Case, it was me, John June, who's on our team, Dan Berg, who's on our team, and Nick Constantino, who's on our team. We were talking about how do we get the group together to basically have better conversations. How do we reinvent or recreate experiences that we're not getting currently in the COVID world? Frankly, we were trying to convince a lot of you and a lot of them at the time to go get FinOps certified, which is actually where we get our revenue. So please consider that. And then a few weeks later, I got to go to reInvent. It was my 8th time going. I think there've been 9 in-person reInvents. I missed 1 in 2019 for some personal reasons. And it reminded me of like how amazing that show is. It is literally the center of the cloud world. You get, I think it was this time, 20,000 people in 3 hotels, basically talking, connecting, seeing content, seeing expo halls, having sort of a life-changing experience. Well, for that 1 week, it's a little bit life-changing. There were great speakers there, Asher Ramako, who was one of our original members as well, speaking, and we all got to walk around the expo hall and do what I think is really fun, which is like see vendor demos. I used to work at a vendor. I'm not going to mention them. A lot of folks know where I was before, but now I get to see everybody's demo. I get to see what everybody is doing. And one of the interesting things about this space is that everybody's doing it a little bit differently, and everybody's got a little different spin on it. So what we wanted to do today as part of this process is not only share some content about like, well, what were the good talks at reInvent? I missed Ashley's talk and Jen Hayes' talk. I missed Sherry's talk. What were the things that came out of that? What were the big announcements that happened? But also, how can we actually bring you together to see content? Now, I'm going to make our pitch for those of you who are new. We have a strong no pitching rule, which we're actually breaking today by bringing vendors in to pitch for the first time. In our Slack, if you are a member of the FinOps Foundation community, you can join us and you can get access to about 2,300 of our most active members talking about things like jobs. In our Slack, you can talk about the best practices for cost sharing or cost savings or how to build your practice. Just this morning, literally about 7:43 a.m., I just grabbed this slide 10 minutes ago, Anders Hagman from Spotify posted 2 new jobs that they have in the FinOps space around building their product Backstage. We want to get you in this community. So if you're not already, go to finops.org and consider joining us. It's free if you are a practitioner. So to end that pitch, almost 4 minutes, what the FinOps Foundation does, we help advance you, the people who do this work of cloud financial management, cloud optimization, cloud costs, whatever you're going to call it. This is our mission slide. It's really long. I did a rework on this last night. You can see the slide to bring it down to just this. We're about people over companies. We're here to help bring a community to you, advance your careers, and help you with standards for how to build this practice. So with that, there's a ton of supporters behind us. You're going to hear from a lot of them today. There's 5,200 of you individual members. There's almost 50 vendor members, and over 1,000 of you are certified. So thank you for being a part of this. Last thing behind the scenes, there's a governing board, which basically figures out how we invest the money to support this community, made up of a crazy mix of companies. I mean, from Fidelity, Google, Atlassian, Chevron, HSBC, and our newest member, Mark Shan from Tencent. We've actually just added our first company from China. So really excited about that. Excited to hear more about from him in the next meeting a little later today. There's also a technical advisory council who votes on best practices. This is the group that defines what goes into the FinOps.org framework. The shout out here is there's an election happening in February. There are 1 to 2 open seats. Some people are still figuring some things out. If you want to join this group, consider putting your hand up in Slack for the election. My call to action for the day, the most important thing I want to leave you with is we are running the second State of FinOps survey that is happening at data.finops.org. We did one last year. This defines what we do for the community in terms of focus, priorities. It tells us what you're most interested in. It also gives you a lot of data around what are the big challenges that the community is running into. We've gotten 534 responses since we opened it 4 weeks ago. I'm aiming for another 300 to 400 in the next 2 weeks. I'm saying 2 weeks before everybody goes up to holiday. Please go take this. Yes, you get some discounts on training if you take it. Yes, you get a new t-shirt. Those are bonuses, whatever. This is data that helps you. It helps us. It helps the community. It will take you 15 to 20 minutes, but it will be a valuable part of the day. So please go take this thing before we leave the call, if possible, later today. My final thing is code of conduct. This community is all about contributing, being respectful, involving everybody who wants to be a part of it. Please do not be a jerk in this community. We've seen that a couple times. We will kick you out of the call and from the community. This involves practitioners. It includes vendors. We've done both. We're really serious about this. We typically say no sales pitches. That is part of our code of conduct. This is the only meeting we have ever done where I'm going to say today, we're going to be no holds barred on sales pitches. I think we have 25 vendors who are going to pitch because what we heard at reInvent and from those who couldn't attend was they want to hear what the vendors are doing. So we're going to do that today. But if you're a vendor, be on this call. If you're in our Slack, don't pitch, share expertise, share best practices, share knowledge, and the people will come to you. With that, I'm going to get into the content. My own personal reminder here. So if you want to talk about reInvent, get into the Slack member calls. We're bringing back together today 3 interesting people. Stephanie Gooch, who is an AWSer, actually was one of the first 26 founding members of the FinOps Foundation before she joined AWS. She's going to be sharing her thoughts on reInvent. Justin Broadley, who I had the good fortune of actually being on a boat with at the Venetian at reInvent, and he has tons of knowledge about the space. He runs the Cloud Pod. He probably knows more about the announcements than anybody on this call. He's going to be helping share his story. And Joe Daly, who just joined the FinOps Foundation. Joe is one of the only people I know, probably the only one I know, who has actually built a FinOps practice at over 2 Fortune 100 companies. So excited to get Joe in here. I hope he's ready to unmute. Later today, if you have any friends in Asia Pacific, we have another session running with Mike Fuller from Atlassian, who is going to be joined again by Justin and Peter Shai to talk about the session for our friends in Asia Pacific. And with that, Joe, are you ready to take over?
Absolutely. I was born ready to take
over. To Joe.
How's everyone doing today? I'm going to MC this event and throw these slides, these announcement slides, over to Ashley and Justin as we go through. First one, these are the main topics coming out of the ECS and EBS, EC2 and EBS categories. Steph, let me just throw it right to you first. What are the main takeaways from these announcements?
Okay, so I'm going to go through all of them and then we're going to go through and have a chat about them all, I think. So starting off, recycling bin. So this retains all your deleted snapshots for X amount of days. You can set this up for whatever works for you. And it kind of runs off of a 2-level model. So you have that initial deletion, and then there's kind of, you can designate a recycle bin admin, and they can go for the full deletion. So this can run on all snapshots or certain snapshots, sorry, with tags. Good thing I do have that water handy. Run off of tags. So you can really start to move things. People get very concerned about tagging, it's about deleting their EBS snapshots. And this process means that you can delete them, but they're there for a little bit just in case. Then you also have archive. So if you intend to keep your snapshots for kind of longer than 90 days, then this is a really good opportunity for you, and it saves about 75% of your snapshot costs. So if you finish a project or a migration or something big happens and you're like, okay, we want to keep this for a while, but we don't want to pay the full price. It's not something that's going to be incrementally changed. This is where you can use archive. Then big announcement was Graviton 3. So this is really good for compute intensive workloads, things like batch processing, media encoding, and scientific modeling. So it's 25% better compute performance against the Graviton 2s, I think. And I know, oh, forgive me, I'm kind of going through these quite quickly, but we will go through and chat about them a bit more. And also Mac 1 has been released. So this delivers up to 60% price performance over the kind of x86 based Mac instances previously released last year. And finally, R6i for memory intense workloads. So these are 15% better compute performance over the R5 instances. So lots of big kind of server announcements, but also looking at that EC2 other kind of bracket that have been announced.
I love the idea behind EBS recycle bin. You know, I like to share hold my beer moments. There's not many opportunities for a director of FinOps to become personally responsible for creating an outage. But if this service was available 2 years ago, it could have prevented the one time someone could have pegged me for it. I was trying to initiate some snapshot cleanup. Unfortunately, I was working with an engineer who did exactly as I told him to, as opposed to exactly what I meant him to do. So, and those of you on the call who have worked with me or for me know that those are two completely different things. So being able, not sometimes it looks like a snapshot, but it's not really a snapshot. It's an active live image that your EC2s are launched from. So all those were deleted, gone forever, and had to be quickly rebuilt. And then some angry people about me trying to save some money. So this is, I think that's a really cool feature. Justin, what are your thoughts on the new instance types and processors behind them?
Yeah, I mean, Graviton 2 is now several years old in the market, so it's time for a new chip anyways. We were starting to see some FUD from other vendors like Google that basically their Tau VMs were actually faster than the Graviton 2. So, it was kind of expected going into reInvent that we'd see something around Graviton, which is now the new 3. 25% better performance. That puts it right on par with what Google's doing, which is a great if you have a multi-cloud workshop that you're trying to figure out the best bang for your buck. The going into the R6i, which is also based on the new Intel chips. If you're willing to pay that Intel tax, you get the benefit of better price performance ratios as well, with a ton of memory. So if you're heavily memory dependent, like HANA workloads, for example, R6i might be a great use case for you, which is really awesome. And then, of course, the M1 Macs are going to give you the support for the latest and greatest Mac hardware and Mac builds you want to do for your mobile apps. So typically you're using these for a build farm or some other type of workload related to your build pipeline. So not a huge cost, but it's always been in the Mac side. Turning it on, you pay for this for 24 hours at minimum. So do keep that in mind if you're going to use these. There is a bit of a tax due to Macintosh's, Apple's licensing terms, really. But overall, everything they did in hardware was a big improvement on price performance. Definitely update your calculations and your FinOps numbers, because you're going to get savings or at least better performance for the same cost, which is always a win for us in the space.
Awesome. And speaking of all this compute, there was an update that we'll talk about on the next slide. JR, if you could, there you go. Nobody is better at advancing slides in this industry than JR Storment, folks.
Chief slide advancer. That's my role.
All right. So, Steph, give us the lowdown on the update here.
Yeah, so two cool updates for Compute Optimizer, a tool that we've been around for a while now. It's a great resource. If you haven't seen it before, go check it out. It's something that's there to help you optimize your compute. So it works normally off of the 4 main areas of EBS, Lambda, EC2 and auto scaling groups, so just a bit of background. And the new metrics are enhanced metrics. They're a paid feature. When you activate them, it will look at 2 of those. So it will look at EC2 and auto scaling recommendations. And what this paid metrics will do will give you a longer look back period is one of the main things. So this is super useful if you run off of like a monthly or quarterly basis with your applications. So we know that some customers have seen it where at the moment it's done on 14 days is the default. So if you have a longer kind of running application process, things that are running over a couple of months, that 14 days may not be the best way of looking at it. So kind of giving you that option to extend it. You are charged based on the number of hours per resource running. So if you have an instance running 24/7 for 31 days, it's 25 cents, so not super expensive, but it's something to be aware of, that when you turn that on, be conscious of what accounts are turning it on for, so that you can utilize it to its best ability, but not get any cost shock from it. And there's also a nice new view, which is what this slide is showing us, is this new kind of dashboard that's at the front. You don't have to do anything if you've already got Compute Optimizer set up. It will just show you some nice tracking and saving metrics so that you get that better kind of visual straight off the bat. But because before it was kind of divvied up into smaller groups, now you've got this nice thing, and this view is free.
I love a good donut chart.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Yeah. Justin, any thoughts on Compute Optimizer?
Yeah, I mean, this tool, when it first came out, was, you know, slightly limited in that it was very focused on CPU and memory. But, you know, as they've added in Disk I/O, they've added in these new dimensions, the power this tool gives you to really predict your workload is just getting better and better. So if you checked this out in the past and you haven't looked at it in a while, maybe it didn't give you the right answers, or you got a bad recommendation that you got burned by, I definitely recommend taking a look at this again. Extending out that window is great, especially for servers that, you know, are maybe involved in your month-end processing, or on a weekly batch job process that only runs once a month or so. Those type of things were being missed prior. So being able to look back that 3-month period really does give you a better perspective and a much better idea and confidence that these recommendations are the right recommendations for your server, and not just a dead slow moment for that particular server. So this, you know, I love what they're doing in this space. I think this is an area that they continue to invest and continue to drive a lot of great insights and DevOps capabilities to your teams.
Awesome.
And also in the comments I've just seen, is Compute Optimizer free? So the general Compute Optimizer is, but there's a new metric which is paid, just to clarify.
And you can turn that on and off, correct?
Yeah. So you can choose if you know that you've got something that's going to be like a big project that's running for 3 months and you really want to be kind of careful and monitor what's going on, turn it on. But then if you don't need it anymore, get rid of it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Next slide, please, because it's not all just compute in the cloud. It's also storage. Steph?
We love some S3 storage. So a couple of things here, 2 big points at the start. So infrequent access price reductions for standard S3 and for one zone. So there's a chunk of 31% savings, which is great. And then there's 2 kind of retrieval things with Glacier. So there's S3 Glacier instant retrieval. So this is for long-lived archive data that requires millisecond retrieval. So that now has its 68% saving. And also the same kind of concept is available in intelligent tiering archive now. So the same saving, 68%, and it's for the same type of data, but it's part of the intelligent tiering process. So Glacier retrieval on its own is this kind of long-lived data that you can put in there yourself, or you can also choose that option in intelligent tiering. And there's also the new Glacier flexible retrieval. So 10% reduction on the flexible retrieval rate. So a nice bit of savings that just kind of are happening now.
Justin, what's your thoughts on storage?
You know, these are all great. I mean, some of these are just easy, enable it and get the savings. The infrequent access price reduction is a bit limited to the Asia Pac regions, although it does pick up Northern California as well, and I believe Brazil, Sao Paulo region. So it isn't all regions on that one. So you may or may not get a savings depending on where your workloads are based on. But you know, in those regions, those are some of the higher price ones anyways. So it's great to see that savings now rolling out really globally. The Glacier stuff and instant retrieval really solves the big use case problem of, you know, I don't need the data until I need it, and then I really need it fast. And so that's the nice thing about that particular service, and the ability to take data and archive it out until, you know, that audit requirement comes up or there's some lawsuit that you need to get that data, can really save you in a big pinch, which is great. And I think intelligent tiering is, you know, now with this new archive instant access tier, I think it's another great level that, for many companies, that should be the default, as long as you understand your data access model and understand the cost of transitioning between the tiers. But being able to just do it intelligently without having to think about it or do a data migration, which can cost you a lot of money, makes that service really great. But I do have some cautions on it, because you can get burned if you're not aware of your data access model very well.
Yeah, on that Glacier instant retrieval, if your legal team needs something in 2 weeks, they're going to wait 2 weeks to ask for it. So it's a good feature to be able to get that right back. So.
Can we get the slides for this meeting?
So the slides are shared currently in the members calls section of the Slack channel. So we'll get those. Next slide, please, JR. Sustainability. This was a big, this is a lot of stirring, a lot of people excited about this one.
Yeah, me, one of them. If anyone saw my Twitch show about sustainability, I was super psyched about that. So sustainability, so one of the big things is that we have released a new pillar. So as some of you may know, Amazon runs up a bunch, we have a set amount of pillars. Cost optimization is one of them, and sustainability is now going to be a new pillar. So this will be something that will contain questions, and the whole goal of it is to help you guys, or customers generally, evaluate their current architecture and design and improve workloads to make them more sustainable in the cloud. And this especially goes hand in hand with cost optimization. So looking forward to seeing how this pillar grows and how we can, as FinOps practitioners, kind of take advantage of that and link with it. And then the other thing is that Amazon are going to be releasing a carbon footprint tool to show you how you can see how much you're using. This is the sustainability calculator, and that's coming next year. So not released just yet, but it's coming in the future.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this is all the cloud providers are going down this path of providing this, but the well-architected piece of this is unique to Amazon. No other cloud provider has given you these well-architected practices of how to actually think about designing sustainable workloads. And so, we all kind of expected there'd be something in this space, but I do feel Amazon raised the bar across the industry on this one with well-architected practices on top of it.
Yeah, and community members, FinOps Foundation practitioners, members, we hear you. Pretty much for the last 2 weeks, it's been a nonstop ping. What are we going to do with sustainability? What are we going to do with sustainability? Because the FinOps team is also going to become the sustainability team in the IT department.
Well, and Joe, just to call it the elephant in the room, I have been hearing a lot more of that from the Europeans and less from the Americans, which is unfortunate. But yes, we need more focus here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's coming, folks. And if you want to keep, and just a callback, if you want to keep pressure on, fill out the survey and talk about sustainability in the survey. But much more to come on this one. Green Ops, absolutely. Next slide, please, JR. Serverless, Justin, hit us up with serverless.
Yeah, so the serverless announcements came fast and furious during Adam's keynote. So first up, serverless options for Redshift, MSK, which is their managed Kafka service, and EMR. This can really change a big portion of your data story. So these are definitely something to take a look at. You're really getting the ability to not have to commit resources or commit clusters until you actually have data that needs to be processed, which is great. So the Redshift announcement is very similar to what you'd see with Snowflake. So if you have a data model that you run reporting once a week, or you only run it at certain times of the day, this would save you a ton of money versus running a Redshift cluster all the time. Kafka, there's no messages in your message queue. Why pay for it? And that's always great for MSK. And then the EMR side, I think this is really exciting for people using the Hadoop's ecosystem. Being able to dynamically run Hive workloads without having to pre-provision that capacity is really quite nice. One of the big reasons why you potentially would choose Kafka is because you didn't have to necessarily decide your shard size or the number of shards you wanted. And that feature is now coming into Kinesis as well with their new on-demand pricing model. So instead of pre-provisioning shards and capacity in your Kinesis for peak load, you can now do this on-demand model, which gets you a much more dynamic capacity provisioning capability there, which is quite great. And then Graviton 2 is coming to Fargate, which is huge if you're on the Fargate bandwagon. Give that price performance benefit there. And I suspect that we'll see Graviton 3 starting to roll out on all these services as well. The big heavy lift for most Amazon teams, I think, was moving to Graviton, which is the ARM transition. They've all done that now. So adopting Graviton 3, I expect will come in the next couple quarters for most of the services that support Graviton 2 today. So if you're on Fargate, you're going to get that benefit as well once they roll out Graviton 3, which I think is great.
Yeah, Graviton 2 to Fargate wins the prize for nerdiest thing said today.
I mean, if we got Stargate in there too, we'd be really set.
All right, let's move it along because we do have time, and I want to ask you some more questions on this database. Next slide.
So there's a couple of great things in database. DynamoDB table class. This is now a reduced usage table or standard, versus a standard table, which is provisioned for a certain number of IOPS and workloads. If you have a table that you want to have available to you, but isn't always used in every transaction you're doing in Dynamo, you can save up to 60% just by changing the table class type to the reduced access model. So for people who are using Dynamo, there's a lot of cost sharp edges that I think this helps reduce dramatically for many companies and can help deliver a lot of value to your business. The next one up is not exactly a FinOps announcement, but it has FinOps implications, which is the DevOps Guru for RDS. So if you think about your database engineers that you have in your teams, they're typically, there's a group of them that we've kind of replaced with managed services like RDS, people who used to install SQL Server, people who used to do the backups and the train logs. You get all that benefit now from Amazon. And so they've been focused more heavily on performance tuning and performance optimization and making sure those databases are right sized. DevOps Guru gives you a machine learning capability to help do that work. So instead of doing the undifferentiated heavy lifting that we see all the time in the database space, now you can get recommendations directly from ML. From the DevOps Guru on your RDS instance. They'll tell you, hey, if you optimize these queries, you can reduce the performance of them and all the different things you want to do, which also may result in eventual cost savings for you as well. You may not need as big of an instance as you thought once you've optimized your code. So I think this is a huge benefit for many database teams to really help them get a leg up that all of their peers have been getting for the last several years. It's nice to see that now coming to RDS as well. And then before reInvent, they announced the DR recovery. This was for an acquisition, but being able to now automatically manage your DR capabilities with a service that you don't have to think about as much, configure it, let it go, let it synchronize the data, and then only enable your DR needs when you actually have the desire to enact the DR test saves you a ton of money. And having this now as a native Amazon service means the service is going to continue to get invested in a big way, which will help you long-term in savings.
Yeah, I think that DevOps Guru is good so that FinOps practitioners have new things to argue about with Enterprise DB. Steph, any thoughts on the database announcements?
I think the DynamoDB's like infrequent access stuff is going to be really interesting when to do that. And like you said, if you know like what to look for. I haven't used DynamoDB in a while, and so I am looking forward to delving into that, especially for my customers, and figuring out what are the markers where, yes, you should turn this on for this, and hopefully sharing that information with everybody else.
Awesome. I think we have one more slide before I get to hit you both up with questions. Justin, data transfer.
Yeah, so this was an exciting announcement for those who have, some type of data data going out of the Amazon region. Of course, you don't pay for inbound, but you pay for outbound. Previously, this limit was 1 gigabit for basically going out of a NAT gateway. Out of a normal public zone. And so now they've increased that from 1 gigabit to 100 gigabit, which for many workloads will be enough to cover their basic use cases, which typically are things like grabbing patches from upstream repositories, downloading packages they need to do their build, et cetera. That is all now most likely going to be covered for most companies in the 100 gig tier. So that's a big savings, and that's now no longer a 12-month free tier. It's now a permanent free tier. So you don't have to worry about this when expiring and all of a sudden having a bill that you didn't have before in the prior month because your free tier expired. They've also extended that to Amazon CloudFront. That was, I believe, 100 gigabytes before. That's now 1 terabyte, and allowing you to go out through CloudFront to get that data as well, which is great savings. So for most people, this will result in some immediate savings in their bill, most likely if they're using these type of capabilities. Any access to the internet is now basically more covered by the free tier, and it can result in a couple $100 in savings for many companies.
Staff free tier, more free tier is a good message, right?
Oh yeah, good I'll make a note. Pass it back.
More free tier, less expiring free tier. Everything in that space is great.
That's awesome. All right, so questions on the next slide. It's just a reminder for all of you on the call. Post your questions in Slack. We're doing a great job crowdsourcing the answers. Justin and Steph will also, if you think of a question later, they'll be checking there to give their insights. I wanted to call out Jen Hughes, Ashley Hermatko, Caitlin DeCrane, and Sherry Wooldridge. FinOps Foundation members who presented at reInvent. Those are the ones at least I know of. There's probably more of you. Question. My question to you, Sherry, to you, Justin. I was calling you Sherry, and Steph. My favorite thing I think I saw last week was during Caitlin DeCrane's presentation. She mentioned that they use weekly scorecards, send out weekly scorecards about tagging compliance risks for each of the product teams that they support. What were some of your favorite moments from last week that you got out of it?
I mean, I mostly attended the keynotes and then had a lot of meetings, so I didn't have a great breakout session experience for myself personally. But I think the big takeaway is that COVID has not slowed down this community in any way. The people who were there were very energized to be there. There's a lot of great things going on, and I think the ability to take advantage of things like Evidently, which is their new feature flagging capability. Those things are going to be huge transitions that are going to happen in the next 1 to 2 years as people adopt these new services. And I'm just excited to see where we're going next with all these capabilities and what companies are going to do with them.
Steph, what's your favorite thing?
I think so. Last year I was just started my job at Amazon, so doing reInvent was a bit hectic, and so this year I got to really sit and kind of appreciate it, pay attention to what was actually being released, and try and follow everything and keep notes. And especially for the Twitch show we did last week, and it's just great to see. Like I have someone made a deck in our team of all of the resources that have been released that affect cost, and there just seems to be so many. And so the thing I'm really excited about is that we've just gone over all of them, all these new opportunities for us to delve into with customers and you guys as customers into ways to optimize. And I'm just excited to go and learn about all these new things and just figure stuff out that I haven't recommended before and now have an opportunity to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. My last question for both of you, unless I think of a good one from your answers, are I haven't been to reInvent since I wasn't there last week, and obviously no one was there in 2020. So 2019 was the last time I was at reInvent, and I'm remembering that week. The first thing you do when you leave reInvent is make your body healthy again, get some sleep, drink some water, eat a vegetable, but once you do that, you have to start processing all of this information and deciding what to do. Steph, I'll start with you on this one. From your experiences at reInvent, how do you start processing all this information?
Yeah, it's overwhelming. And even like we had a Slack channel, we're just putting stuff in. It's too much, I think. But the good thing is you guys on this call care about cost. So you kind of already narrowed it down to one of the pillars, which makes your life a little easier. So I kind of did this as being someone who works in sharing information to customers. I kind of have a massive list of all of the things that have been announced that relate to cost, basically what we did today. And then I'm just going to go through those, especially like I'm doing it with my customers, and say, okay, what applies to them? And for you guys, what applies to me? So what's important? And then prioritize those things, and then the rest will kind of come around, and you'll probably hear about it through the peers, through calls like this, through discussions. But focus on like maybe 5 things. You're like, okay, we can benefit from this release, and go and like target that rather than try and take everything in, and use resources like this. I think these links are all going to be shared out, kind of keep them all together, read about everything, and then make a decision on what's going to benefit you the most and take some action on that.
Awesome. Justin, how about you? How do you handle all this info?
Well, unlike the Amazon folks who are prepping for reInvent, my job starts after reInvent because the podcast can get through all of this stuff. So we had to break it down. We had to go through every announcement, figure out how we're going to talk about it on our show, and get that out to our audience of people who follow on and listen to what we learned at reInvent. But for the day job side, I think was really more interesting. Typically it's breaking it down by interest groups. So let's get all the data announcements over to our data team. Let's make sure they understand what they're going to be so they can start adopting those capabilities. Let's get all of our new EC2 stuff over to our compute team so they can start looking at do we have an opportunity to take advantage of these capabilities. And it's really starting to have that discussion. And what do we prioritize in our overall roadmap of software development, and what do we think is going to have an immediate value, and also get into POCs, because a lot of things that get announced at Amazon at reInvent are not always as full features as we need to meet our requirement, but the sooner we can tell Amazon what we need, the sooner they can build it for us. And so, we'd love to get into POCs very quickly. We'd love to make sure that we understand what the edge cases are for the service and where it can add value to us, and then get that feedback back to Amazon and potentially meet with product management over there, whatever makes sense for our group, to make sure that we get our feedback in and get those features we want. Hopefully within the next 6 to 12 months. It's Amazon's continuing to iterate and continuing to evolve, and they want that feedback just as much as we want to give it.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, Stephanie, Justin, thank you for these insights. I learned, I worked on these slides with you, and I learned things from your answers. So that's really awesome conversations. Again, remember, practitioners, FinOps Foundation members, please join the post your questions in the members calls. If you're wondering, how do I get access to the Slack channel so I can ask questions? Join us in the FinOps Foundation. Check us out. Now switching over to the other part of reInvent, the Expo Hall, which is my personal claustrophobic nightmare. But I'm super excited to watch how we do this. So we'll turn it over back to you, JR.
Hey, I got to throw in a curveball question for the panelists. So I did go this year, right, in person, which was the first time in a bit. Is it still worth going in person? Like, we can do these virtual events, we can hear all the announcements. Did you get value, Justin, from being there in person?
I mean, the hallway track is incredible at reInvent.
Yeah.
I mean, getting a chance to run into people who are on the Amazon Twitter, like Ben Kehoe and others, and getting to talk to them and understand what their use cases are, understand their solutions. That's where the real value of reInvent is. You were asked which session I went to. I didn't make it to any sessions.
I didn't go to any either, but I had like amazing conversations for 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the value for me. And going to reInvent. I think if you're new to Amazon, and it's a learning conference, first of all, right? So I think the first couple of years of going to the conference, you can learn a lot from the sessions. You can learn a lot from the announcements. The Chalk Talks are amazing. Anybody who I tell you this is your first reInvent, I said sign up for Chalk Talks. Chalk Talks are a great way to go sit with an engineer, an architect from Amazon, and whiteboard a solution. And you can learn so much about how Amazon thinks about the well-architected framework from those processes. But I think the lower, this is my 7th reInvent, 6th reInvent. I think the value diminishes the more you're in the ecosystem for the session side, but then you get the benefit of the hallway talk. So I think it's really, what are you looking to get out of a conference like this? This year was a blessing because it was the same size it was 6 years ago, which was super nice. It was a bit of a
exactly. We went back to how the good old days. Yeah,
the good old days. So, but when it's 75,000 people and it's wall to wall and you're transiting the entire strip to get to sessions, it's a little harder to find those value pieces. And so I think it's really going to depend on what happens in the future for reInvent. I think I've been an advocate that they should regionalize reInvent for a while. And break it into an APAC, EMEA, and US event. But we'll see what they do. I think they got a lot of good feedback from this year, and what the feedback was from the teams that went.
It was strange this year not having the Europeans there. And yeah, I mean, you called it a learning conference. I argue that it is now a getting together with the community conference and having the conversations, because this community is about the connections, right? And walking around there, you just run into people. So Steph, any final words from the Amazon?
Yeah, I just have to agree. I mean, I still have connections from the first time that I went, and they have shaped the career path that I've gone on now. And I'm the one thing some of my team members went who are in the States, and I was more jealous of the fact that they could go and connect to customers and have those one-on-one conversations and learn about what's going on. And like you said, go and see some demos and go and chat to people. And it wasn't about, because we can watch the videos later. I think the speaking slots is still really important. The Chalk Talks definitely are one of the things that I remember being one of my highlights when I went last time. But I think there is a need for the big speaker slots, because it is good to kind of see it and get it on. It is very engaging when you're watching it live. But I think the big part of it is definitely that networking and being able to have an actual conversation with somebody in physical format, especially after the year we've had. I miss being able to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody.
Amen. The first 3 people I ran into were in order: John McLaughlin from Cloud Health VMware, then Alex Head, your boss, from AWS, and then Eugene Kovastov from Aptitude Cloudability. So it was like the perfect mix of folks.
Oh wow!
I see some people yawning on the screen, so we're gonna move forward with this. I did make a quick slide change here. The slide previously said take a sip of water, and it now says I have to restart my slides here. Eat a vegetable, as a testament to Joe's comment there. We like to throw in a little bit of like self-care bits here because these things are exhausting when you do Zoom for 2 hours. And what we're going to do next is something we've never done before, which is a vendor showcase. We're going to essentially bring in a quick, we call them lightning talks. And one of our friends, Jonas from SoftwareOne, called it a blitz talk, I think. But it's going to be a very fast 1 minute pitch by, I think we've got, Steve, how many do we have? 22, 25 vendors? 28. Okay, we've got some late additions. So Steve Trask, who leads a bunch of stuff for him, we're still trying for us. We're still trying to figure out what to call him. Is going to take you through this. I want to give a big shout out, Steve, before I pass to you. We have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. I'm doing the math. Arithmetic maths are hard. Premier vendor members: Cloud Health by VMware, Google Cloud, SADA, Deloitte, Accenture, Verticent, Apptio Cloudability, McKinsey & Company, NordCloud, an IBM company, SoftwareOne, and the latest Tencent. Thank you to the 12 or 11 of you, still maths are hard, for supporting this community and enabling these folks to do what they're doing. And with that, I'm going to pass to you, Steve. Do you want to screen share?
So, yeah, I need to take over if that's okay. Okay. Right. Cool. Let's just get back there. So what's actually going to happen is, we talked about these blitz pitches, these lightning pitches, these 1 minute talks from multiple vendors, and they're going to be back to back showing their value. And then after that, we're going to create a breakout room per vendor so they can give their demos and their presentations. We've advised that the maximum is 7 minutes, so it gives time for Q&A. We're going to enable participants to then move around the different vendors 4 times. So the breakout rooms are 40 minutes in total. There's more details coming on that, but we do want to get going because we have got 28 vendors. We have some late additions and we really want to kind of get through these. Rob is kindly unmuting speakers as we go. So this is, again, untested, but we're definitely going to kind of see how it goes. And JR is actually going to put a timer up. There we go, nicely. And you might hear an alarm. We are going to be quite strict. It is 1 minute. We want to be fair to everyone, so we get through everyone in time. Okay, without further ado, we would like to hear from Lucas from Cloud Health by VMware. Are you ready, Lucas?
Ready to go.
Cool. Take it away.
All right. Hey, everybody. Lucas here from Cloud Health. Excited to be here to talk to you about our product and hopefully geek out in some of these upcoming sessions, but how you can use Cloud Health to build a FinOps culture within your organization. So similar to the other solutions, we offer financial management, operational governance, security compliance, optimization recommendations. But one of the ways we differentiate is around our governance engine and the over 150 different resources that we collect the metadata using the native cloud provider APIs. So we're able to tie these resources together, things like volumes and instances, and be able to give you that context together. We also have a governance solution to be able to evaluate things on some sort of interval. So be able to do things like identify unattached disks or aging snapshots. Lastly, we just released anomaly detection, which is going to evaluate multiple times a day as well to help identify cost changes. With the help of you and your user feedback, you'll be able to help train that solution as well to better suit your company's needs.
Nailed it in
Amazing.
60 seconds. Okay, everyone else, pay attention. We're going to stop you.
That's hard.
Over.
It's good. That's what we want. We want to kind of create that value. Right. So next, we're going to go to Google Cloud. And Leah, are you ready?
I'm ready. Hey, everybody. My name's Leah. I'm a product manager at Google. And here at Google, we've gone ahead and built a comprehensive cloud cost management solution. And this leverages the computational power of BigQuery, our data warehouse, including its built-in machine learning capabilities, and combines this with the self-service data governance and exploration capabilities of Looker to deliver this centralized reporting to FinOps teams, which includes cost center mapping, cost forecasting, data actions like programmatically generating PDF chargeback invoices, and so on. So with this solution, you get dashboards that showcase spend across all major cloud providers, and it allows you to filter by resource tags or labels and to drill all the way into specific services or SKUs. And this is built on top of harmonized data from vendors inside this unified schema that we've created, which allows for really holistic spend analysis, including budget tracking and category comparison.
We're at time.
Perfect.
Lovely. Thank you very much. And next, we're moving on to SADA. It's Rich. Are you ready, Rich?
I am ready.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, everybody. Rich Hoyer, Director of Customer FinOps at SADA. SADA is a premier partner of Google's GCPs. So SADA is where you would go to start planning and thinking about a potential migration to GCP. So we can help with all the cost planning, developing reference architectures. And then once you're with SADA, then you're going to be purchasing GCP via SADA. And with that, you get our support. You get a customer service manager, you potentially get a TAM. And we also, of course, have FinOps services for the context here. So my team supports all SADA customers via the CSMs and TAMs on a daily basis for basic reporting, basic optimization, and things like that. And then we also have paid professional services for those clients that have much larger needs, like standing up their FinOps team from the ground up or addressing challenges with reporting or optimization.
Ooh, also just under the wire.
Fantastic. Now we're going to move on to Deloitte and Mark and Rakinder. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm here. Mark's here.
Fantastic. Okay, take it away.
Right. Hi, everybody. I am Mark Steckel. I'm a senior leader in Deloitte's cloud strategy practice. In our practice, we are striving to be the consulting partner of choice for our clients throughout every stage of their cloud journey, from delivering the business case to advising, implementing, and operating FinOps. We aim to help our clients establish the capabilities they need to maximize their investment in the cloud. We are well equipped to support our clients across all of the cloud providers, as well as implementing CFM tooling and integrating the cloud platforms and other tooling with their existing platforms. We are also able to pull in the expertise from the entire Deloitte firm, so other services such as accounting and tax advisory, to really provide a holistic end-to-end robust service offering to our clients.
Fantastic. I think that's it. I did try and time that on my phone because I know, JR, your clock
I completely screwed up the timer on that one.
I have 30 seconds left. Thank you.
We're testing. No, thanks, Mark.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. And then moving on to the next one, we have Accenture. And Grant, I believe you're ready.
Yes, I am ready. Do we have a slide to show?
Yeah, take it away.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. So hello, everyone. My name is Grant Byram. I'm a senior manager with Accenture's Global Cloud Optimization Practice. And I am here to say Accenture does FinOps, and we're super excited about it. Over the last few years, Accenture has moved over 95% of our business to the cloud, allowing us to support tens of thousands of cloud-related projects across our global team of over 600,000 employees. I am also proud to share Accenture is first and still the only FinOps certified service provider GSI. And when it comes to cloud conversations, we have seen a 3x jump of FinOps related client conversations in the last 6 months alone, allowing us to share our over 20 market leading FinOps centric offerings. And we remain laser focused on certifying our practitioners. 5% of all FOCPs today worldwide work right here at Accenture. Thank you.
And for those of you who don't know, FOCPs are the FinOps certified practitioners, and thanks for the shout there.
Fantastic. Okay, we're moving on to Verticent. And Michael, are you there? Ready?
I'm here.
Fantastic. Take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Kearns with Verticent, and we provide a modular, holistic FinOps solution that combines proprietary technology, deep cloud expertise, a global team, and proven FinOps methods in a unique pay only for results model. We work with all big three clouds. And if you have tools you like, you can use them. And when you don't, we can bring them. Thanks.
Wow. You still have 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm trying to be efficient.
Also, pay only when you save. I've never heard of that before. That's a new model.
That's right. That's right. So look forward to talking to folks in the sessions.
Cool. Cool. Wow. 20 seconds left.
You can take it, Steve, if you want it.
Yeah, I was hoping Jared can reset the
Thanks
clock.
for the time, Michael. I don't know what to do now. We're over. All right, let's move forward.
We're moving forward to a mode from Cloudability, Apptio Cloudability. Are you ready? Hoping he's going to be there.
All right, let's come back to him.
Okay, we're going to go to NordCloud. And Jakob from NordCloud, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, my name is
Fantastic.
Jakob Halak and I'm part of NordCloud, an IBM company. And I wonder how many of you still struggle with full cost allocation. The top concern of cloud management nowadays is shortage of cloud skills on the market. And yet I think we should stop hiring top talent only to ask them to fix typos in tags. NordCloud, a cloud-first company, was established 10 years ago. We've helped numerous enterprise customers with their cloud journey. We measured that up to 4 months of every year, the tag-based allocation is broken because engineers are lagging behind with updating CD pipelines. This is why we built Clarity, a cloud management platform that will help you elevate the discussion from usage reports, long right sizing recommendation lists, accounts and tags, to useful application and team-level insights. You don't need to update your tags or structure first, leave it to our allocation engine. Thanks for having us here and see you at the booth.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to move on to SoftwareOne. Jonas, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Fine, it's great. Take it away.
So, hi, everybody. My name is Jonas Cesar from SoftwareOne. Happy to talk to you today about the unique FinOps portfolio of SoftwareOne. So, SoftwareOne is one of the biggest experts when it comes to general IT and software-related spend and cost management, even before the cloud was there. So, creating transparency, managing and optimizing for our customers and together with our customers. And of course, when the cloud came up, it also became one of our focus areas. And we therefore joined the FinOps Foundation early to work together with this great group of people on this topic. We have a leading experience, of course, when it comes to SaaS and cloud optimization and spend management, and also enabling our customers' technical cloud transformation. But what really makes us unique is that we are a one-stop FinOps shop, which means we have an own certified FinOps platform with the Pira Cloud, as well as a modular FinOps service and managed service framework that provides us with the ability to meet our customers' requirements best and to support them within their FinOps journey.
Again, nailed it. Fantastic. I think we're going to try and go back to Cloudability if Marisa is ready.
I'm ready.
Yes. There we go. Right, take it away.
Hey everyone, Marisa Bannigan, Senior Director of Product Marketing here at Cloudability. If you were one of the thousands of reInvent attendees that stopped by our booth last week, thank you so much for spending the time with us. For those that couldn't attend, we're excited to showcase Cloudability to you here today. It is a FinOps certified platform available to help you manage and optimize your cloud footprint across all elements of cloud spend, designed to really help practitioners at any stage of your FinOps journey as you work to connect cloud investments to your business strategy, driving best practices that help unlock the value of cloud and bring visibility to the unit economics of running your cloud program. Cloudability customers on average save over 30% per hour off compute, in part due to Cloudability's industry-leading optimization engine, ensuring that you're purchasing the right commitment products, using appropriately sized resources, and terminating idle resources. But we don't stop at your public cloud bill. We help practitioners extend your FinOps practice to address areas of cloud spend like SaaS and other third-party service consumption, and bring visibility to your whole cloud program.
Cramming it in there. Well done. Okay, we're going to move back forward and we're going to be hitting CoreStack. Venkatesh, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Fantastic. Take it away.
All right. Hi, this is Venkatesh, Field CTO CoreStack. CoreStack is a multi-cloud governance platform. The fundamental principle of CoreStack is looking cloud holistically from three key angles. One is cloud ops, SecOps, and FinOps, because we clearly see that every action that you take in cloud has a reaction in any part of aspect of security, FinOps, as well as operations, right? And as part of the FinOps offering alone or the module alone, it aligns very well with the principle of FinOps organization: inform, optimize, and operate. Our customers have gone from what I call as saving cost to making money, right? We want to flip that story. And similarly, we also want to flip the story of management to governance. And because if you have the proper foundation, you should be able to control any aspect of cloud. And more importantly, CoreStack is also releasing FinOps Maturity Assessment Report. Thank you.
Okay, we're at time there, and we're going to move on quickly to Stacklet.io. Kapil, are you ready?
I am.
Fantastic. Okay, take it away.
Hi, my name is Kapil Klinkavelu, CTO at Stacklet and creator of the Cloud Custodian open source project. Thousands of brands across the globe use Cloud Custodian to stay secure and cost optimized in the cloud. We have over 100 million downloads and more than 300 contributors. Stacklet platform, based on Cloud Custodian, empowers engineering, security, and finance teams to codify, automate, and collaborate on cost policies and workflows using YAML and GitOps. Policies help enforce real-time guardrails via detection, notification, and remediation. Unlike many other tools, remediation and enforcement is a first-class citizen in Stacklet and Cloud Custodian. It also integrates with your existing workflow and tools from ServiceNow to Slack, Microsoft Teams, and Jira. Policy violations and remediations are intelligently routed back to developers and stakeholders to accelerate behavior change and awareness of cost optimization best practices. Looking forward to seeing folks in our breakout room, or feel free to hit me up on Slack.
Fantastic. I love how everyone's getting it just in a minute. Okay, we're going to move on to Prosper Ops. Eric, are you ready?
I'm here.
Fantastic. Okay, take it away.
Cool. Hi, I'm Eric, one of the co-founders, and we believe the next generation of FinOps software will deliver outcomes, not just reports and recommendations. So we use AI to algorithmically manage RIs and savings plans to deliver world-class savings outcomes for our customers. Once you turn us on, our app literally handles everything to put more money back into your cloud budget, net of our charge. To measure that, we created a metric called the effective savings rate, and we've actually submitted this KPI to the FinOps Foundation, and it's being included in the framework. The industry standard results are shown on the left-hand column and match the 2021 State of FinOps survey. The data shows most people only achieve an effective savings rate of 20% or less, which is roughly the 75th percentile. And generally, you'll look something like the picture on the right. If you click the button, it'll just trigger a build. What Prosper Ops does is autonomously deliver near perfect utilization, higher blended discounts, and 95+% coverage that tracks your usage up and down. Our customers achieve effective savings rates above 40%, which puts them in the top 1% to 2% of all optimizers. We're doing this for
Eric.
$500 million.
That's it, my friend. All right. Great stuff. I like ESR.
Okay, moving on to, here we go. Oh, Ternary, Sasha and Disan. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, take it away.
Hi, my name is Sasha Kippervarg, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Ternary. Ternary was born of the pain of a massive 100 petabyte migration to GCP. We spent a couple of years working on the problem together, my co-founders and I, and actually traveling around the world and listening and hearing the stories from other members of the FinOps Foundation about what worked and didn't work for them. We've built the tool that we wish we had when we migrated at the time. We believe in automation, but believe that collaboration is really the last mile of this problem. We're focused on GCP, built on GCP, and then a consumer UX and UI. Essentially, we are building tools at the intersection of finance and engineering based on FinOps principle. We focus on building partner tooling as well to help them manage their own customers. Some of our most interesting features are workflows allowing you to assign optimization tickets, track them, have discussions around them, an agentless Kubernetes visibility tool, and other features as well. Really hope to see you in our demo and look forward to talking to you. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Sasha. Appreciate that. And we're moving on to Harness. And Robin, are you ready?
I am ready. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, take it away.
Do I have a slide there, Steve? Thank you.
Yeah.
So if you attend my session, everybody, you're going to learn a little bit more about looking at FinOps from a R&D and a DevOps perspective. Okay, so Harness is a company that's been in the DevOps CD/CI space. Second product we brought to market was around cloud cost management. I'm going to be talking about business intelligence, which is actually the Looker product from GCP. And also we're going to get into automation, okay? So how can you actually actionably automate savings from a cloud cost perspective? Be it stopping idle resources, resizing Kubernetes workloads, and providing not just a FinOps where you're having to hassle your R&D organizations, but enabling them to understand inefficiencies and action them as well. So tackling the problem from both directions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Perfect timing. Okay, we're moving on to Cloud Zero. Steve, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Take it away.
All right. Well, Cloud Zero is a platform that connects technical decisions to business results. Now, how do we do that? We leverage unit economics. By bringing in our customers' data streams and applying them to their cloud bill, we're able to accurately derive an endless number of unit metrics that can include cost per customer, COGS cost per customer, cost per delivery per product, and so on. These data streams also enable us to increase our visibility into Kubernetes clusters and accurately allocate shared resources. By understanding these unit economics, we empower engineers to better determine efficiency and quickly understand their spending behavior. In many cases, the profit margin problem sits with the pricing team, not necessarily the engineering team, and Cloud Zero enables our customers to figure that out. The one thing that's important to remember that the cloud bill is a variable cost, not a fixed cost. So when you compare month over month, it's not always apples to apples. It's often apples to oranges. So when we look at it from economics, it makes a lot more sense.
Fantastic. Thank you. And we're moving on to Doit. John, I see you're ready already.
Yes, you can hear me
away.
Hi, John Purcell here, Chief Product Officer for Doit International. Hi from snowy Boston. So Doit provides an intelligent technology portfolio that simplifies and automates cloud use. We pair that portfolio with expert advisory and consultancy services and unlimited technical support in your cloud for digitally savvy companies and cloud practitioners around the world. Our business model is unique in that it enables us to truly focus on our customers and their success. It's really actually pretty simple. When you agree to simply pay your cloud bill through Doit, our technology, our consulting and advisory expertise, and our technical support is all available to you at no additional cost. We're a 7-time winner of Google Cloud Partner of the Year, proud to say that. We're an AWS Advanced Partner and MSP, and we're especially proud to have been recently named as an AWS Rising Star in the EMEA market. I look forward to chatting with you.
Didn't even have to unmute for that one.
Yeah, perfect. And we're moving on to Flexera.
Great stuff.
Jeremy.
Think I'm good to go if you can hear me okay.
Yeah,
Jeremy
take it away.
Great stuff. Jeremy from Flexera, and I'm going to tell you briefly about some differentiators for our cloud cost optimization solution. You can find out more in our breakout session, of course. So firstly, we support any cloud, public, private, hybrid, whatever you've got, non-Western regions and non-Western providers too. On top of that, we can also ingest your staff, your license, your SaaS costs, really giving you a fully loaded total cost of ownership view, all in a single report and all in a single currency. Now, when it comes to integrating with other systems and tools, we've got that covered too. ServiceNow, Jira, Datadog, PagerDuty, any API-enabled system. And that really ensures that you get the right information to the right people all of the time. And finally, our automation engine that has over 150 out-of-the-box policies that can be customized to meet your specific needs, supporting optimization, governance, automation, and remediation of any cloud service, really enabling advanced capabilities such as Azure Hybrid Use Benefit Management to be part of your...
Sorry, we're at time. Okay. I'm going to keep moving with Yotascale. Pedro, are you ready?
Yes, I am. So I'm Pedro Leonardo, Head of Product at Euroscale. Euroscale is a dynamic cloud cost management product designed for modern architectures at scale. We help customers reduce their cloud spend by up to 50%. Euroscale is the only multi-cloud cost management solution that gives a complete unified view of your multi-cloud infrastructure, including Kubernetes and clusters, in an intuitive way that your engineers will actually use. At Euroscale, we deliver 95% accurate cost attribution that matches the way you do business. We do the technical support of Kubernetes, containers, and microservices, and actionable scenario-based recommendations that your engineers can trust. The best engineers teams in the world, including Zoom, Hulu, and Compass, trust Euroscale to deliver cost management solution to optimize their spend.
Fantastic, perfect timing. Right, we're moving on to Anodot. Ronnie, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Fantastic, take it away.
Okay, thanks. Hi everyone, my name is Ronnie. I am the Anodot CTO, and up until very recently the CEO of Pileos, which was recently purchased by Anodot. I want to explain today about the Anodot cost capability. So we believe that FinOps or cost management separate for three major layers. The first major is visibility. So we supply very deep visualization that can give you a full breakdown about your costs, multi-cloud cost, and your Kubernetes cost. We give you recommendation out of the box, thousands of different types of recommendations that can help you to save the cost immediately. The recommendation is ready within 24 hours. And the last layer is about the monitoring and anomaly detection. We have very advanced capability of the anomaly detection, the forecast, and the stuff like this. And this is a
there we are, we're at time.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, and we're moving to FinOut. And Asuf, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, take it away.
So hi everyone, I'm Asaf, FinOut's co-founder and chief product officer. Now, I'm sure you've all heard these questions before. How much did my Kubernetes cluster cost last month? Or why is our Snowflake bill constantly growing? In my personal favorite, how much did a specific customer cost us in DynamoDB last November? Each provider has a different billing system. It's chaotic. That's why we created FinOut, the cost observability platform, uniquely built for FinOps to break the barriers between cloud providers, data warehouses, and third-party vendors, all consolidated into one platform. Our offer is pretty straightforward. First, you can manage all your costs in one place. Second, you can build unit of economics based on your observability solution, Datadog, Prometheus, and more. Secondly, we transform meaningless absolute cost into cost per tenant, per feature, and more. And the cool part, you onboard FinOut in minutes, no SDKs, APIs, agents, or R&D efforts. So join us in a breakout room to hear more.
Perfect. Couple of seconds to spare there. Okay, moving on to KubeCost. Rob, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Fantastic. Take it away.
Yeah, so this summer there was a survey from CNCF and FinOps to ask folks, what level of Kubernetes cost monitoring do you have in place? And roughly about 70% of people said they're either doing nothing or they're just taking estimates. So why is that? Well, Kubernetes introduces a heck of a lot of complexity. Multi-tenant clusters, shared costs, idle resources, container request versus usage. Well, in that same survey, KubeCost was fortunate enough to be the most popular multi-cloud Kubernetes cost monitoring solution. Well, why is that? Well, we were built from the ground up for Kubernetes, hence the name KubeCost. We're built on open source, so those folks that are managing the clusters gravitate to the tools that our product uses. And we're a comprehensive cloud cost solution that supports all the major cloud providers. And now we're fortunate enough to even have cloud providers promoting us on their official managed Kubernetes services, saying, if you want to do cost governance in AKS, use KubeCost. So please come by our breakout room and we'd love to show you more.
Fantastic. And we're going to be moving on to Contino. Scott, are you ready?
Yep, ready to go. Contino is a leading transformation consultancy that helps large, heavily regulated enterprises to become fast, agile, and competitive. Contino was born in the cloud as a consulting organization with enterprise expertise and myopic focus on specific demand pillars. We were founded in 2014 and we were acquired by Cognizant late in 2019, yet staying autonomous is one of their few self-standing entities in the Cognizant family. We enable our customers through enterprise transformation, cloud platform, build and migration, DevSecOps, cloud security, cloud native software development, security, and data platforms and analytics. Horizontally, though, across all our pillars is our FinOps offering that is delivered through our proprietary FinOps Momentum roadmap model, and we deliver customized lighthouses, dojos, and training, including customized FinOps curriculums for outcome-based deliveries and success-focused engagements.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. And moving on to Cloudthread. Ilya, are you ready?
I am ready. Can you hear me, Steve?
Yeah, take it away.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. This is Cloudthread, Cloud Cost Efficiency Engineering First. I'm Ilya. I've been doing FinOps since 2014, did it at AA, did it at Lyft, now running Cloudthread. So Cloudthread wants every engineering team to be confident in their cloud costs and environmental efficiency. We are seamlessly integrating cloud cost component into engineering decision-making. To achieve this, we are building engineering-focused cloud cost unit metrics platform. Some of the features to note is like our unit metrics constructor based on integrations with various like observability tools such as like Splunk, Datadog, CloudWatch, so on. And also things like deploy cost analyzer. All that brings like better visibility to engineering teams on the trade-offs they're making on cloud costs every day, and also brings peace of mind to FinOps teams. So right now we are in private beta mode and launching publicly in January 2022. Get to our breakout room to learn more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're moving on to HCL. Piyush?
Yep, I'm there.
Fantastic.
So hi,
take
everyone.
it away.
So we at HCL are supporting customers' FinOps adoption journey, leveraging a platform-driven approach, which is HCL MyXelytics platform, assisted with consultants who supports customers' journey towards visibility of their cloud cost consumption, optimization opportunities, as well as governance metrics insights. The platform comes out of the box with different adapters, including cloud native services and third-party solutions. Looking forward to meeting everyone in the breakout zone.
Cool, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being fast.
Yeah, super fast. Exhibity, Tim, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic.
So
take it away.
Thank you. My name is Tim Rapp. I'm head of customer experience, and Exhibity is a software vendor that provides a cloud agnostic approach towards metering and billing. So what we do, we can connect to virtually any data source, whether that is public cloud, such as Amazon, Azure, Google, or on-prem resources. We can consume from all of these, and we are very strong in the hybrid space. So if you have any use case where you need to cover a hybrid scenario, then Exhibity is definitely something you should be looking at. And I'll definitely recommend you check out our breakout room later. So how do we do this? We transform all this data using our ETL engine, where we apply all different kind of business logic and other rules, data normalization steps, and then we can actually rate that, apply discounts, margins, and so forth, and then you can actually report on that and integrate it into third-party systems like a general ledger or an ERP system, and so forth.
And we're at time. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to Densify. And Chuck, are you ready?
I'm here. Thank you.
Fantastic. Take it away.
Hi, it's Chuck Tatham from Densify. Densify is for enterprises who are ready to start dealing with cloud and container right sizing to impact the cost equation. Finance deals with dollars, engineering and app owners are the ones that can deal with the quantity, the what you buy. Many organizations struggle with this because often there's not a lot of trust in the analytics. And so this makes for a gap between the FinOps function, the building of software, and the DevOps process, selecting the right processes. Humans aren't good at this estimation. Densify is a multi-cloud precision analytics engine that enables high trust recommendations, which is really ground zero for getting actions taken. This is not a finance solution. We enable the teams that build and manage applications to ensure that bills that show up in finance are in line with actual need. The best part, I'd like to mention Intel currently sponsors full annual use of Densify for qualifying enterprises, zero cost and risk in checking it out.
I think we're at time there. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Moving on to Opsani. I don't know if Ross is on the line at all.
I am.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, take it away.
Well, this is not Ross, this is Amir. But maybe we can go to the next slide.
Apologies. Fantastic.
Go ahead. Sorry, there are a lot of builds. Let's build it out completely. Keep going, keep going. Yeah. Keep going, please. Build out, please. There we go. That's good. All right.
Sorry. Go on.
All right, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. Opsani was built on a premise that those who consume resources, namely the DevOps and engineering teams, are different than the ones that pay for it, and there lies the mismatch, very similar to what Densify was discussing. And the whole idea is that engineers set resources at a level that's high enough not to get calls in the middle of the night. And that's generally a misconfiguration that creates problems in terms of error rates, in terms of throughput, and obviously in terms of cost. What we do is we take the service level objective and we analyze the load at any given time, and using machine learning, we automatically reconfigure the machine load, and off we go.
Fantastic. Sorry about the build process there.
No worries. We've got what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. And Thieves Cloud Management. Jez, are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve.
Fantastic. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jez Bagg. I am the Consulting Director and co-founder of Thieves Cloud Management. We are a professional services organization dedicated completely to FinOps and cloud financial management, where our focus is about unlocking budget for organizations so they can innovate. And we use our proprietary ASI framework so we can look across the 4 dimensions of not just technology, but also business, governance, and finance as well, so they can do the right trade-offs between making the right decisions on the technology, but also on a business perspective, finance perspective, regulatory, and all of those sort of things. We also really care about unit economics and getting to those right trade-offs so we're getting the right levels of value into your business. And we operate across the entirety of the cloud journey, helping people from migration and costing those parts out and forecasting, all the way to doing reviews, going through the trough of despair and doing that optimization, and going into aftercare. We also are all of our practitioners are cloud practitioners. We'll see you on the breakout room.
Thank you very much. That's a wealth of information for everyone to kind of digest. I'd like to hand it back to you now, JR.
Oh boy, I'm enjoying being the beeper way too much here. Let me get my screen share back to me. Excellent. So now we are going to break into the breakouts. We'll make a last, since everyone else is pitching, we'll make a last pitch here as well, which is we just launched a new learning management system. If you go to learn.finops.org, we would love to get you certified at whatever level that you would like to get certified at. So check that out, please. And 1 second here, all the screen sharing. There we go. There is that. See, I wasn't ready with my own beeping. All right, with that, breakouts. So a couple points to mention here, which we've covered a bit. Practitioners, please ask questions via chat. Don't interrupt the speakers. We're keeping this really tight. We only have about 40 less minutes to go. Every 10 minutes, we're going to ask you to move to a different room. We'll let you know when time is up. Vendors, do not go to other rooms. If we find you in other rooms, we're not going to allow you to come back to do this next time. We're going to do this in about 3 months. Also, your demos should not be longer than 7 minutes. And we hope everybody enjoys the time. With that, Stacy, anything we need to do to kick this off?
Gosh, no, it's taken me over an hour to get everybody in breakout rooms. So listen, I'm going to stay in the main room. So if you're having any difficulty navigating around, I'm happy to be your tour guide and get you in the proper room. Just bear with me. Otherwise, everybody does have the ability to jump from room to room. You're automatically going to be put in one room. If that's not where you want to go, you're going to have a couple other times to check out other demos. You'll have 4 different chances, but feel free to hop around.